I don't have very much to say. The Stars were a better team. Um, there were points in the game when I was more engaged in watching the game before it kind of became out of hand. But there were points in the game. We started off the game much stronger than the Stars. The Stars were not ready to play for the first 10 minutes or so. Then they got ready to play, and they showed that they were a better team. Matt Duchene is one player that, I don't know, for 3 million, the three point something million that he's in the Stars. I don't know why we didn't try to bring in Matt Duchene. I think Matt Duchene liked his time in Columbus, although there was a different time in Columbus, a different team in Columbus. He went to a team that has a better chance of winning, which I think is something that's important, has always been important to Matt Duchene. Um, at the time when he signed with Nashville, um, he would have considered coming probably to Columbus. I don't think they tendered him an offer because they thought they weren't going to be able to pay him into the future because they had to pay Pierre-Luc Dubois and some other guys, especially Artemi Panarin, who they absolutely tried to sign. Um, I'd love to have a guy like Matt Duchene, even though Matt Duchene's numbers haven't been outstanding and his play hasn't been outstanding. He's an energy player, and you can still see that in his game. And he was, he was pretty good. Um, so what else did I see? Um, Other than the team just get outplayed. I saw the officials seeming to favor Dallas in some calls. That probably didn't affect the outcome of the game in this case because Dallas was just the better team overall, and we didn't really get that much stuff going on the power play and stuff. That thing with Adam Fantilli, I don't know. I saw some people talking about where Adam Fantilli declined that penalty. First of all, if you decline a penalty, you shouldn't go to the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not the way that the declining a penalty needs to work. They'd just be like, okay, the official says like, okay, there is no penalty on the play. No worries. That's happened, for instance, with like Alex Ovechkin. There's a video of Alex Ovechkin who declined a penalty when the official was going to call somebody tripping him, and he was like, "Nah, nah," and the play just kept going. Like the play didn't stop. I guess the official felt that he had to send him to the box in order to decline the penalty, um, because he'd already called the whistle. But I don't know, call the whistle and say, "Okay, I made a mistake. There's no penalty." Whatever. But there was. It doesn't matter. But as generally, you should not do that. If the official's going to call a penalty, don't complain about it, even if the official's call is wrong, because it's going to come back against you some other time. The official's going to call something against you that's wrong. Like that happens. Take your wins. Um, I'm not going to, not getting on Fantilli's case about that, but I don't think that was wise, and hopefully Pascal will talk to him about that. I don't want to see no more of that. Um, Damon Severson. I thought Damon Severson's pretty solid. There are probably points where Severson was not really there all the time. I think there's a lot of pressure on defensemen. Not, a lot of the time, people are not getting back to defend, and in particular, Severson and Provorov coming in. There's a lot of pressure on these guys to be really solid defenders. I saw Severson do some pretty good things. There was a one-timer chance where Severson was pretty low on the play, and I think he got a one-timer in the slot that he didn't score on, but he was he was strong in that part of the game, and I thought he was overall he brings maybe not as much steadfastness as I've seen from Ivan Provorov, who is uh, really looks like a pretty standout defenseman. Severson looks more like a solid guy, more like somebody who's more willing than Provorov to move up on the play and be aggressive, which is fine. Um, but a pretty good player, worth all of the. I don't think we actually traded that much for Severson. I think we traded a little bit more for Provorov, which, based on the way they're playing, is probably appropriate. Although I don't know if this is a team that's ready to win with that help. Severson we have for a long time. Provorov I think is less of a long time. He's got a couple of years left, if memory serves. Um, Jack Roslovic. Jack Roslovic is still playing well. I expect. I mean, we've already seen inconsistency in Jack Roslovic's game this year. I expect it to continue, where there will be times when it's kind of not clear where Jack Roslovic's at. But right now he's playing okay. Andrew Peak was okay again. I think that my patience with Peak is just fed up. I don't see Peak as a player that's going anywhere or really deserving to be here. I'd rather have, Juracek is going to be a part of the future. I'd rather be playing Juracek, and no good comes out of Juracek sitting on the bench. Let him play. And Peak is, I guess, possibly what they're doing is giving Peak a chance to play so they can trade him. That would make sense. Um, but if they can't find a trade partner for him, then he has to sit and, I don't know, cut their losses on this player that they know they don't want moving forward. I know there are trade rumors surrounding Andrew Peak. By all means, deal Andrew Peak. Yeah, that's all I have. It's not a very good game at points. At points, the earlier in the, like, if you look at only the first half of the game, I would say the Jackets were the better team for that half of the game, and they played honestly not so badly throughout a lot of this game. But overall, considering the entire 60 minutes, they were not the better team. Dallas is better. Sometimes that's going to happen, right? The Jackets are just not a better team than the Dallas Stars right now, where the Dallas Stars should be seen as, serious contenders, especially in the West, where there are not that many serious contenders. They could have an easier path to get through. But yeah, I don't really have that much else to say. Not much else to say about what's going on. Jackets are just not as good as I thought they were. All right.